are starting out in the garden because that is where the rhubarb is. So we're going to use my Grandma Baker's recipe that we've been making since I was a little girl. We normally make it first time on Mother's Day, but we've had unseasonably warm weather, and the rhubarb is ready now. I'm just going to move it closer. Alright, so there's the rhubarb plant. And as you can see, it is huge. So, I'm going to get in here. And all you do is you just grab them and twist them off. And then they should come off with an end like that. And hand that to my trusty assistant. That one, the little thing broke off. We're only going to take 3 in for now because we've got some strawberries to go in our rhubarb cobbler too.
Take the crown off the bottom one.
Which one do you want, Ronnie? May as well point at it. This one?
Yeah, it's that way.
And there's that. Alright, the first step is get rid of the leaves and the very end of the stalk where it was hooked onto the plant. This one broke off right there, so I'm not as worried about that piece, but we'll just make it nice and straight. And there goes that last leaf. Now we'll head into the house. All right, it says that we need 5 cups of rhubarb. We're going to do partly rhubarb and partly strawberries. It's just fine with just rhubarb. It's just a little tangier. With that outside, it's hard to cut in your hand. And I'm going to cut this up and get it in here, and then I'll be right back. That took a little longer than I thought it might. My daughter called, and I had to shoo her away because I was making a video. So I told her, it's not that I don't want to talk to you, but I'm making a video. She's like, oh, okay. So now we're going to put in some strawberries. Now there's no rule on this, because of course the strawberries don't even belong in here. But I'm probably going to put like 2 cups of strawberries in here. And I don't think I need to measure, but I will, just so that you know how many I put in here. I usually just cut some up and put them in. Callie? Alright, I will finish the rest of these strawberries. I'm going to do about 2 cups. Alright, I have the old KitchenAid out. One thing I have learned is if you're going to buy an appliance, buy the best one there is because you're going to use it a lot and you don't want to have to go buy another one because it wore out. So I have a KitchenAid. I wore out an Oster blender. I had a blender and a mixer both. And I've worn it out. So I've got the KitchenAid mixer and I replaced the blender part with a Vitamix. So I've got a half a cup of butter in the pan, and now I'm putting in 3/4 cup of sugar. That's nice and tight. I'm going to lock it and turn it on low. The butter is not softened, but it will cream in here just fine as we get going. Okay, the sugar is all mixed in. And now we can add some more ingredients. This is 1/8 of a teaspoon of salt. I have to confess, I never measure the salt in something like this. So there goes the 1/8 of a teaspoon of salt. Next is 1 cup of flour. And we have 1 teaspoon of baking powder. I'm going to mix this in just a little bit. And then we're going to add 1/2 of a cup of milk. Alright, there goes the milk. Stir that batter up. Now the batter is fairly thick, so you literally take spoonfuls of it and lay it on top. And it does puff up, so if there's spaces, it doesn't really matter. I'm going to whip this a little faster. Okay. Now I'll get this taken care of and we'll be putting it on. Alright, now this is kind of a tedious part of this because you want to get this spread out as much as possible. And it is fairly thick. And you just kind of keep spreading. I'm going to show this whole painstaking process because this is kind of the worst part of it, getting it all spread out. Starting to almost fill in now. So there are several different types of rhubarb. This one is very red, but it doesn't matter if you have the green one or the one with the red on, more red on the stalks. They taste pretty much the same. I do like the red ones better somehow, but I don't know if it's just the color. But if what you can find or what you have is green, go ahead and get that so that you can make one. My daughter has one and it starts out redder, but it actually is a little greener than mine as it matures. Alright, so as you see, there's still some little holes, but that's okay. This puffs up and covers the whole top, I promise. Alright, this next part is going to look a little crazy. We're going to have 1 tablespoon of cornstarch and 1 cup of sugar. And we are going to stir that together. Get the lumps out of the cornstarch. So this part is going to end up actually down with the rhubarb and strawberries, making, you know, like the thick part in a pie. So it'll thicken up the juices. Alright, so it's all stirred together. And I'm going to do this left-handed, which is not my good hand. And you just spread it all over the top. Okay. Oh, a tiny bit of cornstarch left in here. Didn't get mixed in. Alright. Next part is even crazier, perhaps. And there you have it, everybody. It is rhubarb strawberry cobbler, and it is going to be fabulous.